Welcome back to the Section 121 podcast. First Sunday episode in my room, so I get to see that for the first time. I didn't exactly prepare for it to be super clean. My voice is kind of gone because I was out at my formal last night, and but I'm glad to be back and talking about Friar baseball. So, first thing I want to get to today is officially signing Wandy Peralta. I know it was pending physical, all that stuff, and officially getting Wandy. And why I like that deal. I like this deal because I think it's not 4 years. I think is perfect for a really good reliever who's who's not gonna want to get out of. He's not gonna want to trade and. Like, even if you give me huge contracts, not a ton of opt-outs, and I think he's a solid, foundation for 4 years, and I really like what he's going to bring. His changeup is amazing, and I'm excited to see him for because I think 4 years, again, is perfect for $28 million. Or, sorry, not $28 million. I think $27 million. My bad. Sorry, my voice is so gone, but I also want to talk about two free agents the Padres should look at. I planned this before the news came out that the Padres were talking about Jarren Duran and possibly signing him, which would be huge. I like that as well. But Michael A. Taylor, obviously, center fielder, great defensively, had a really resurgent 2023 with his bat, 29 homers, bats solid average. I mean, obviously that you can't depend on that's going to stay up there, but I mean, it's pretty exciting if we can get him to look forward to that production. The other guy, Tommy Pham. Pham played the Padres. I'm not exactly sure how long, but I know he left after 2021, and he was a great leadoff guy. Loved playing in San Diego. Had good chemistry with the guys, and ultimately when he left San Diego and came back a couple times, wasn't exactly welcomed. Didn't exactly act like he was welcomed. A little beef there, but he has expressed that he wants to play. He likes playing in San Diego, and he is still available. And those are two guys who the Padres could get that would fill the hole in left, which I will get to pretty soon. And the last thing is why I don't like the Yuki Matsui 5-year, $20 million deal. I don't think he's a bad player. I don't think he's not good enough for a 5-year deal. I just I don't like big 5-year reliever contracts, and believe me, there is a difference between 4-year and 5-year. 5-year, that is so long for a relief pitcher to stay in a bullpen, and oftentimes relievers just will switch up and switch out just because they just maybe they've been pitching a 2.5 their whole career and playing a solid role, and their offense has just sucked for 3 years straight. They don't. Obviously, I'm not saying our offense is going to suck for 3 years straight. It's certainly not going to. But I don't like pitting guys in bullpens on 5-year deals. I just don't think it's really. I don't think it drives them to want to stay there, or to want to play there, and I think it just kind of. I don't love it. I don't love 5-year deals for relievers, especially guys who are unproven out of Japan. And yes, what I'm going to get to, the hole in left field. The hole in left field. Right now, you asked me what the Padres left fielder is. I say Cal Mitchell, Tiso Ornelius. I had to write that name down because I can't remember off the top of my head. Jacob Marcy. Maybe even Jackson Merrill, our shortstop, number 2 prospect, number 12 overall. It's possible it was said that he's going to see some time in center field for during spring training. And I mean, if he's seeing time in center field, I think it's all possible that he sees some time in left field. If if we are not able to sign a guy like Pham or Taylor. I think that Merrill in the outfield is possible. It would be a little odd converting 2 shortstops to corner outfielders, but I would like to see. I am excited to see how he does in center field in spring training. And yeah, a signing. I think a signing is like for Jackson Merrill as a player. At least a low to mid tier player, like a signing, like we need it. Just for Jackson Merrill, like it's a little different with Tatis because he, obviously came up as a shortstop, played really well as a shortstop, but struggled defensively. And when all that stuff went down, and we got like Kim shined, got Bogarts, like Tatis had already been moved around in the outfield, and I think, and when he finally, when he came back, I think being in the outfield was just like a no doubt choice for him, and so that's Jackson Merrill's different. I hope he doesn't take a path like that to where he's at right now, but it still is possible that that he is in the outfield at some point. And other part I want to talk about is how Grisham being in the trade hurts San Diego, like big time. Because Jose Azocar is a okay hitter. He's fat. He's really fast, good base runner, and he's a like a below average outfielder. And he's gonna play center field. And recently, he's played right field and left field. He's played a little bit of center field. He's basically been coming off for Grisham whenever they need to pinch hit, whenever they have him up in the majors, and whenever he's when they need a knock. So and knowing that we don't have that defensive anchor that can still occasionally come through on offense, knowing that we don't have good defense in center field, certainly for me will be something I need to get used to, because I'm so used to everything in center field just being in Grisham's glove. But yeah, because obviously I like the guys we got back, but I mean Grisham, I just don't like that he was involved with that trade, and I really do wish we had him. Even if he doesn't start, even if you want to start a guy like Azocar, just having him off the bench as a lefty bat, which we do need lefty bats. I just don't like that he was in that trade and that we sent him away. It's also because I personally like him, but that's not even related to those issues. Alright, I'm going to take a quick little voice break. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Bright spot for the Padres with all these pitchers they got and these signings is they have new faces in this bullpen that has lost Josh Hader, has lost Tim Hill, and obviously Seth Lugo was a starter, but also lost the possibility of him being, because he declined his option. And how to deal with losing Hader, people talking about whether we want Wusuk go or Robert Suarez to be the closer, and I think it has to be Suarez. I think for Suarez as a player, I think he needs to be that guy, because I think he's been behind Hader for these ever since he's really came up and shined. I think he's been behind Hader, kind of in the shadow, and I think I want to put him in a closer role, and I think he's the type of player that won't shy away from it and need changes. I think he's going to be the guy who turns into a reliable closer. I think he's not a setup guy who's going to be like, oh, he's a setup dude playing closer, what do we do? That's not. I think he's going to turn into a full-time closer that people, other teams would look at as if we want a closer, he's a guy on our list. That's who I think he could turn into. And Pedro Avila in the pen or in the rotation. Avila he played great for us in the last few games, or his couple starts he made at the end of the year. He was was that Carlton? No, yeah, that was Carlton. Avila, he played like a fifth starter. Obviously, didn't expect a ton of swing and miss. Didn't trust his defense, but he brought this energy that was really unmatched compared to any like Sean Mania like 2 years ago, or even Seth Lugo this year. Like, he just brought an energy that was just like different from a typical fifth starter, which I absolutely loved. And obviously he got knocked up versus the Dodgers in that super fun 10-7 comeback win. But I think, it is the Dodgers, and it's the Dodger Stadium, all that. I want him in the rotation just because I know that we need someone there. Because I like King, Darvish, Musgrove, and then you have Avila, and then that's where you say, do we want to sign someone? Do we want to go with Waldron? Do we maybe want to bring a reliever in, like Matsui's possible? Like, I think just to have Avila in the rotation is just what we need to start with, just to lock down four like starters that have started and pitched well before. Because you have Darvish and Joe Musgrove, who have been great pretty much their whole careers, and then you have Avila and Michael King, who closed strong down the stretch. So I think having two guys that close strong down the stretch will be really great to bring out in 2024. And the bullpen last year, and how it kind of it didn't obviously play a huge part, but it did, contribute to the collapse of whatever the hell that was last year. And because obviously, you look at the 0-12 extra inning record, and you're like, oh, the offense isn't clutch. The offense can't hit when it matters. But can the bullpen pitch when it matters? I mean, Hader's great, but he blew a couple in extra innings. Obviously, it's harder with the runner, but Suarez did too. I think Suarez blew one in the 8th against the Dodgers. Kerr had the walk-off versus him. Hader walked. I remember that was 2 walk-off wins on us against the Giants. I remember both those clearly. And so it's not just the offense. The bullpen was up and down, and when we were not hitting well, I feel like the bullpen would be on fire, and it would just be those locked up 0-0 games, and it would just come down to the 8th or 9th inning. And when we were hitting well, the bullpen just made it so hard. I feel like when Tatis and Machado were both just in stride, around that Philadelphia series, when we were in Philadelphia, we went 1-3 in that, just because we were hitting great, and just the bullpen just could not hold back, Schwarber, and partially it's because we started Ryan Weathers one of those games. That dude stinks, but we they couldn't deal with Harper and all that, and obviously that's that was tough, but with a bunch of new faces, guys coming from different places, I think that it's going to be a completely different scene. I think it's going to be really consistent. Because you're gonna know, you already know what you're getting out of Robert Suarez. You know that as long as Matsui and Usago don't have any crazy adjustment issues, you know that they're gonna be big swing and miss guys. You have Morihone coming back up. You've got you don't have Charisma anymore. Forget who else we have in our pen. But you have Vasquez from the trade. Thorpe from the trade, if he wants to come up. Thorpe's also a possible 5th pitcher option. But yeah, I think it's a lot. It's a lot of new guys, a lot of new things, and I'm excited to see how they all do. And briefly, I want to talk about how Jackson Merrill and why he should be comfortable in the outfield. I know I touched on a little bit earlier, but obviously, San Diego fans know that AJ Preller loves shortstops. He loves them to an extreme extent that I will never know, but he's also good at signing them, so I'm not complaining. So, because we got the number one overall international prospect in Leonardo De Vries. De Vries, I think I said that right. But he's coming up at shortstop. Obviously, Merrill, a shortstop. You've got Tatis, who played a game or two at shortstop last second maybe in the infield, who also still is able to play shortstop. Kim, who's a natural shortstop. Bogarts, who has been a shortstop his whole career. Machado, who has played shortstop. You got a lot of shortstops, and obviously, a lot of them are young, and with the exception of Bogarts being in his 30s, all of them are young and have a good amount of future ahead of them, and so obviously you can't when these guys are all up in the majors, you can't have them all in the same field. So I think we really lucked out that Tatis is thriving in right field, and I really hope that Merrill's able to adjust to playing some outfield. I do want to see him in the infield, but when Dave Reese comes up, it'll really just be a battle of who's the best at each defensive position, and we'll probably be playing 3 shortstops with Cam at second, if you don't count as my shortstop. So, anyways, that's all I really have for today. I know I rebranded and didn't really. I deleted a couple of the old episodes that might have discussed what's coming, but the future is spring training starting soon. I'll cover those games, recaps. I won't be able to watch all those games, obviously, but I am working on getting on Apple Podcasts and bringing my analysis to there, and I'm really excited to get out to some games, and I'm super excited to see how spring training goes. I know that some signings need to be made, some decisions, and I'm really excited to cover it all with you guys. So thank you.